my grandmother said to me, every time you point your finger at somebody, take a look at your hand, because there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. Hi, my name is Paul Bridle, and welcome to another Thoughts on Leadership. I've always thought about her advice, and many times over the years I found it exceptionally useful, because you go to blame somebody and then you sort of look back and say, well, hang on a minute, how much of what they're doing am I doing? How much of it was their fault? And there's a whole lot of things to consider around there. But this month, I'm thinking about how much are you behaving just like what you don't like in other people? Think about that for a second. What is it about other people that you're blaming them about that you are actually doing it yourself? And that's the core to this month's Thoughts on Leadership. Because I often go into organizations and I find a manager in a place is complaining about something, and then what they're really doing is they're doing it themselves. I had this recently with a senior manager who was telling me that this person's a bad communicator and they've got a wrong approach to things, and they're not good at planning what they're doing and everything else. And when I actually sat down with them and started looking at it and talking to them about it and so forth, I said, do you realize that you're behaving that way, same way towards that individual? And he was just like, yeah, wow. He was stunned. He was, he said, how did that happen? I'm not like that. And there's an interesting point in itself. We're not like that. My father has recently come to live with us. My mother died a couple of years ago, and my father's come to live with us until we find the best place for him and find him a decent place to live. My father and I have, I've never really lived up to his expectations. He's always wanted things from me, and maybe I didn't achieve them. And so I grew up with him always pointing out what I was doing wrong. Okay? He's very quick to be able to point out when I was doing something wrong, and not very quick at saying well done to anything I did. So I just grew up with this sort of, everything I do is wrong type approach to things. Now he's come to living with me. I'm finding that, yes, he's still like that, but I'm doing it back to him. And I'm not like that. I pride myself in trying to motivate my people and trying to encourage them and trying to show them appreciation for what they're doing and telling them well done and meaning it. And I really take time to consider how I can say thank you to people and make it genuine to them, because I really do appreciate them. And yet in the one person, I'm not doing it to him. And basically, the question is, who's training who around here? I'm ending up adopting his behaviors. I'm ending up adopting his characteristics and returning them back on him. And so this month, I'm asking you to consider about yourself. So think of somebody you don't get on with particularly well in your workplace or your environment. And ask yourself, how much of what they're doing are you actually adopting for yourself? How much of their behaviors that you don't like or you've got a problem with are you actually just like them? And think about what could you be doing that is actually impacting on them because you're behaving just like them. Because my concern is if you're going around saying, oh, these people or this individual isn't a good communicator, they're probably, if you aren't being a good communicator, they're probably sat there going, pot calling kettle black around here. Okay? And that's not going to help your cause. So this month, my questions to you are, in what ways are you behaving just like the people around you in the negative ways? In what actions of theirs are you doing yourself? How much of their behaviors are you finding that you are adopting? What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing or you don't want them to do, but you are now doing yourself and you've learned it from them? It's so easy to fall into this trap. It's so easy to behave and adopt the behaviors of other people. We really need to be at the top of our game, always thinking about, am I a model? Am I an example of what I expect of others? Am I doing what I am expecting from them, or am I starting to become just like them? And the danger is if we become just like them, then we compound their behaviors. So, have a great month and think about it. Are you being the person that you want them to be? Are you being the person that you want them to follow? Have a great month, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Bye for now.